Alright, well, what is going on, guys? It is the 4th of July here in southern Wisconsin. Welcome to the Obsession and Small Property Layouts. So my wife and I came down here. We got water holes we got to move. There's 2 water holes I want to move. I actually want to add another one, but we got to pull the 3rd one out. So we will have 4 total water holes this year on the property. You guys seen in the past the 300-gallon one I dug in. Did that by hand. We're going to do the same thing today. I brought a pump that I had made that works off of the 4-wheeler that we're going to pump out with. Basically the same pump I have on my spraying unit, so we'll just hook it up to the power as the 4-wheeler runs and be able to pump all the water out. 150-gallon tanks. If you're in the Midwest, you know we've gotten a lot of rain. We've got tons and tons of rain actually. So we're going to check our crops again today, see how things go. We replanted from the first washout, and then we got, I think, we'll see what we have in the rain gauge, but around 3 inches out here again, all at once, which would have been 2 days ago. We'll see what else washed out, see what we have to do about that. It's been kind of a little bit of a struggle this year, but plan for today, move 2 water holes. We'll show you guys the locations, why we're moving them there, and basically creating better entrance and exit for us and catching deer in perfect transition for them, creating a better hunting area and uneducating our deer, making sure they don't become educated and begin to move off the property this year. So stick around for that. Thanks for watching Small Property Layouts. We appreciate it.
Okay guys, I'm on Dock Logs with the wheelers rolling. You guys can see I'm in the process of pumping out one of our 110-gallon water holes. Last year I put this in here thinking this was going to be a great idea. We put bedding back up behind the camera, probably about 40 to 50 yards. Mike and I hung this stand on the edge right here. Thought it was going to be a great plan. Put cameras here all year. Got a mock scrape right down here. And it was very unsuccessful. Now, let's talk about why it was unsuccessful. Number one, main travel corridor is up above here. Probably 30 yards. There's an old logging road that the deer all pass on. I ran a camera up there last year too, and the movement continued. We had pulled our stand location out of covering that, brought it down here. There is a stand up above, but we decided we weren't going to hunt that. So, here's what's happening. I'm actually going to dig this out, take this back out. We're going to move it up into that movement where we should have put it the first time. The reason that we need to do that is, number one, I can put a mock scrape back up there. All the deer travel there, doe spawns, bucks, everything. All our bigger bucks go right through there. And we've got perfect trees, about 20, 22 yards away from that. That'll be great for tree stand locations. And we'll be able to sit up in here, hunt evenings or mornings, based off of which side of the water hole you're going to sit in. Won't hunt this until evening during the free rut, then October 20th and later, depending on the weather. Late October will be really good for that movement. But we got to pump these down. They're full of leaves. First one I did, which I'll show you guys later, my wife's working on. You guys know she doesn't like to be filmed. So out of consideration to her, I didn't film that. I took a shovel instead of a rake and tried to get the leaves out. That was stupid, so use a rake. It has picked up a little bit of leaves here. Still pumping water good, so I'm happy there. It'll probably take about 15 minutes to 20 minutes to pump this down far enough, and I'll be able to yank that out. Once we get it out of here, we'll move it up to that upper location. I'll start digging the hole, show you guys the location then. But we appreciate you guys watching the Obsession. If you got questions about the layouts of some of this stuff, just leave them right here in the comments, and we'll answer the questions as soon as we see them. that being said, I'm going to continue to pump this out, and we'll show you guys the location when we move it. But like I said, only about 30 yards away, a spot where I had a mock scrape for the first 3 years of the property. Very productive, all the big deer on it. Mistake moving stuff last year. Live and learn. Yeah, buddy. Another must be nice project. Oh, anyhow, we got this one out. So we'll show you guys up here about 30 yards. My wife started digging up there. We're gonna take this up, show you guys the location and why we're putting it there. Stick around. Hey. I have one right here. Are you saying you want me to go down there and look? Okay. Can't let you just dig the holes all by yourself, dear.
I don't like help.
You don't like help. Alright. Alright. Alright guys, well, you can see the third water hole that we're planning on moving. Actually, this one we're going to get rid of altogether. Great spot. Got the pictures of good deer on here. Problem is, you can't get in here to hunt it. Too close to bed, pretty much bedding all the way around this. We tried to hunt it a couple times later. There's a stand actually 12 yards just over here. Used to be a tree in here that got taken out. The wind took it out. Gave you a little bit of cover. It was more for hunting the mock that's behind me. So the plan is, take that mock, move it down about 50 yards down the ridge here. We do have a stand in there. Mike had a lot of experience with some of our bigger deer last year on our east side of our property here. That's going to be the closest stand that we're going to have up in here. There will be no stands up in this bedding area or near this bedding area. We'll either hunt the top edge of the area, not the bedding itself, but the top edge up above it, or we'll hunt the edges all the way around on the back sides. Reason for that, just going to kind of try and keep onto the bedding area altogether. Hunting in bedding areas on private land can be dangerous, especially on small tracks, educating deer. So that's what we're doing. We're going to take this water hole out all together. I'm going to end up giving this one to Mike so we can utilize it on his property. I do want to put one more water hole in way up on the top of the ridge, which will be just above the bedding area here, our main bedding, to catch that transition and that movement. I think that'll be a great morning stand during the rut. Probably around 10 to that midday type of movement, that 10 to 2 p.m. type movement, just on the uphill side. Especially if we get a north wind where it'll come through here. Also carries your drafts up if you're at the top of the crest. Thermals in the morning, your scent goes nothing but up, so there's a wind there. If we have a north wind, it blows our scent directly to the property line over onto the neighbors. We'll be able to catch any deer coming up and checking the backside of the bedding area to see if there's does in there to check the bucks cruising that top edge or top third. So that's the plan here. We're going to pump this out. You guys see my handy dandy little pump system. That's a backup pump, brand new pump I had for my sprayer. I always have a backup just in case. But we're utilizing it to pump these water holes out, making my life a little bit easier. So Kathy's still digging that other hole. I'll show you guys that. She hates to be filmed, so I stuck that little one in there. Don't tell her, because if she finds out, I'm in big trouble. But we'll go back and review each hole, water hole, and location, and show you guys why they're there. So
stick around. We appreciate it. You guys can hear the wheeler running right behind the camera. I'll try and talk loudly here. Mock Scrape used to be a big apple tree. Well, he's still there, but he went over. Half of his roots are in the air, but he's got a ton of apples on him this year. Bedding area is actually just to the west here. Mike and I emphasized that last year and the year before. Bedding here. Back up behind the camera, we also created a small pocket earlier this year. You guys see that on small property layouts. This is the mock that's going to move. We'll pull it down out of here. We're going to move it down about 50 yards. Got her, so we're going to go move her down. Alright. Well, that's another must be nice plucking project. Anywho, that one's out. We'll come later this weekend to grab that with the trailer. So, go ahead down and do that mock quick, and then back see how Tabby's doing. Alrighty then, well, we got the mock that we pulled from up above about 50 yards away. Brought it down here. You can see it's a little flatter in this area. That'll be good for the scrape. Tree stands right up here behind the camera. Be about a 14-yard shot, maybe 15, 14, maybe less. Great big oak right here. You guys can see this is a red oak. Pointy oak or pointy pin tree, pointy leaf, pin oak, red oak type deal. That being said, main food plots about 250 yards to the northwest. Feed up through here. There's a water hole, 300-gallon new water hole down below, feeding up through this area. Come through this trail or come down it behind the camera. It's bedding. Bedding to my east about 70 yards, 60 yards going up the hillside to the east. There'll be a stand location on the top of that ridge on the back side of that bedding to catch the deer coming up, and the bucks using that top edge, top third to scent check with a west wind. That'll be a good spot in there. Straight back behind us is where we're just going to leave. We're going to pull those tree stands out of. Leave all this tight bedding up in here. Does will bed down below a little bit, leaving space for our bucks from probably the location we're at up to the top of the ridge. Most of our mature bucks stay back in here about 50 to 75 yards. Documented that over the last 4 years, so we're going to hunt them on this edge. This will be a great evening stand during the pre-rut. We won't even come in here probably until after October 20th, depending on what the weather's doing. If we get a big cold front, we think we can get in. The downdrafts in the evening would be pretty good, but you could be educating deer if you came up in here too early, so something we have to watch. That being said, I think this location will be better. I will put a camera right back here on this oak right behind us. That'll help, educate us on what's happening in this particular location. We get a lot of does and fawns moving in and out on the mowed trail, and then of course late August, early September is when you start to see the bigger bucks kind of cruising in here, just because they're starting to gain interest in the does. That being said, October, late October, this is probably the hottest spot to be in the property. Okay, so now we're going to go see the water holes. Show you guys what happened here. Kathy dug all the water holes in today. I didn't do any of it. I just emptied out all the water holes and lifted the tubs out, which sounds easy, but it takes more than you think. We'll show you guys water holes. Stick with us. Let me know when you're done, and then I will
turn the... Okay. I know, isn't it messy? One thing good about clay deer is once it settles, it just stays.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
You smart ass.
That was loose. There we go.
Alrighty. What's going on, guys? This is the next water hole. And you guys can see that we didn't put a critter stick in here. So, you see that there was that one mole. And that's why you have critter sticks. So behind the camera over here, I'm going to grab a stick. I'm going to put it in there. But you guys can also see that my wife planted a bunch of clover and grass in here. And it's come up freaking awesome. It actually goes down the trails both ways, which is also cool because we do mow this. That being said, directly behind me, you guys can see 2 trees here, 2 aspens. What I'm probably going to try to do, because I used to take a rope and go from this maple over to that maple, and then we hung a mock directly behind that. That being said, what I'm probably going to do is probably try to pull those 2 aspen trees over and bend them in, grab a ropes and pull them in, and then I'm going to suspend the vine on the trail right behind that. The reason for that is the tree stand is in a double maple right over here. So there's 2 maple, it's a single tree, goes up about 6-7 feet and forks off into, I don't know, a 12, 14-inch trunk and probably a 10-inch trunk, and they're probably separated by, I don't know, 1.5 feet, 2 feet. So we're going to actually have that stand facing kind of uphill, and that'll put you in between those 2. There's plenty of backdrop behind you with other trees, so when the leaves come down, when the deer are on this level, because you're going to be up above them, probably 10 or 15 feet, it'll help get you out of their line of sight. The deer travel this area a ton. I get pictures, or got pictures of all my big deer in here for the years that I've actually owned the property, so the last 4 years. Now this is going on the 5th year with this property. And this was actually where I put up my first mock. And every one of my big deer used this point. So there's a point, my property comes to a point up above, some great big white pines up there. And this is fairly steep, or really steep actually, past this point. This is an old logging road right here. So they use this transition, it's about mid-level. And they like to use this in the mornings, coming back from the corn to my west. And they come up and they bed directly behind the camera about 150 yards. So it's a great morning stand, pre-rut deal. We don't come up into here and hunt until after October 20th, and then on cold fronts. That also being said, huge morning deal. What's going to sound weird about what I'm telling you is I've never shot a deer in this location. I've hunted around the outside edges of it, trying to catch them in that transition, and shot a few bucks. So this is going to actually help make it a better, tighter travel route, and make it a better funnel position for us to actually hunt. We come in perpendicular to their movement, so we come up the ridge, straight up the ridge. The trail will be able to enter the stand directly below at a 90-degree angle. Like I said, morning sits, your scent's going to be rising up above them. They're never going to be able to wind you no matter which direction they come from. So if it's
cruising time and the deer are using the east-west transition here, they're not going to be able to scent you. I also have a ladder directly up above me here. I may move that right up, maybe a little bit higher, if for some reason I think that that's necessary. Currently, I'm going to say no. So we're going to see what happens this year. I am going to pull that stand tomorrow. When Bob is here, we're going to use that ladder in a different location because it's got a really nice seat and mesh setup. We'll probably move that ladder to the top of the ridge on the last water hole I showed you guys. So I'm going to pop the plug on this, and we're going to start to fill this one up. While that's doing its thing, I am going to get us a critter stick. Our little pump system, it took a little longer to get things going there than I wanted to, but we figured it out. So I think we'll be able to fill the next one here in about 25 minutes. So we'll come up here and we'll put barrel number 2 in here. Starting to think we got more water in these barrels than we thought. This is 110 gallons, it says. We'll be able to see here shortly, won't we? 110 gallons will be 2 of these barrels. I don't know if 2 of them are going to go in there, but we'll give it a shot. We'll let the rest of this drain out quick. Get that done. See how our log floats in there a little bit? It's alright. As long as it stays in there, that's the important part. If it ever comes out, you start getting dead critters, and the deer don't like to come in. You know, if it's muddy or mucky or anything like that, don't worry too much about that. You're going to get a little bit of green in there, you're going to have bugs in it. There's actually a little frog right here. I can see him swimming. It's already grabbed onto the critter stick, so we will take this plug and go refill her. Tomorrow, putting in the mock scrape. Alright, well, about 25 minutes to fill this with our pump. This should get us to the top of this tank, I would expect. We'll be done with tank number 2. We'll show you guys water hole number 3. And then there was the 300-gallon one that we put in this spring, which filled itself with rainwater. So all seems to be working out pretty darn well. Remember, this is all being done so we can get consistent deer movement. get them used to the water. Hopefully we'll be able to get in and out of here without educating here. This will probably even be a decent evening stand, sneaking in through there to catch some deer. Well, of course, we keep our cameras rolling and seeing whether or not that's true. So. Stick around.